Welcome to this week's episode of my portfolio series. In this series, I talk through my portfolios and all my investments, and it's basically a progress throughout the year on how they do and how they perform. So I've chosen to do investing just as a form of looking after my money. I think it works a lot better in forms of investments than it does sat in a bank. So this series, I'll just show you what I buy and go from there. Now, I would say I'm not a financial expert. I'm just some bloke on the internet. But this is what I'm doing with my money, and this is how I'm trying to do it to grow it as best as possible. So, previous episodes we talked through my portfolio, and I thought I'd just give you a quick look through again. These are the companies which I am holding, 41 total, which I do want to trim down. The majority of which is AT&T and BlackBerry at the minute. Now, BlackBerry is one of the problem childs of my portfolio. I did buy sort of into it when it was a hype stock. And at the minute, it's still not hitting the point of $12 where I need to sell and cash out. The rest of the portfolio, though, apart from one or two other stocks which are similar to BlackBerry, is doing pretty well. We are down at the minute, but once BlackBerry sort of picks up to where it should have been, or hopefully where it needs to be for me to sell out, we'll be back in the green again. So in this episode, I'm going to put another £400 into my portfolio, and I will talk through why I'm picking up these stocks. And also, we'll be looking at my crypto portfolio. Now, I do believe, along with having a stock portfolio, having some sort of money in crypto gives me two ways that my money can grow. Now, I think the Trading 212 portfolio is best for the long term, whereas in a minute, crypto is outperforming short term. But I think just having both gives me the chance to cover all options in terms of giving my money a chance to grow. So, in terms of what's happened this week, it's been a bit of a quiet week. The main news this week is that Elon Musk crashed the Dogecoin market, which was to be expected whenever he talks. And that really didn't affect me. I invest in the three main cryptos, but we'll talk about that later. But in terms of my portfolio for this week, we will be investing £400 into 4 companies. Now, these companies are the Apple. Now, at the minute, Apple, I believe, is a little bit undervalued. Its PE ratio is sort of between 23 and 25, which, when you compare it to something like the S&P, is very similar. And I believe for something like Apple, which is just the powerhouse and is just producing so much cash as well as expanding its business model, Apple is not just phones and iPads anymore. They're moving into health and fitness industry with the fitness app. They are also moving into subscription services, which I'm going to do a whole video about later on. And I think having companies which base their model around subscription services is going to be something for the future. I think the consistent cash coming in is something which is really going to help companies in the future, and just the returning revenue as well is something to build on as well. So that's some investments in Apple for this week. Aviva as well, we are going to pick some up as well. Now, I am only going to pick up £40 of that, just because it is trading at a high, and I just wanted to increase my shares in it for the time being, and then at least then we can sort of balance the portfolio out, which is a bit of a goal at the minute. I want to sort of balance out my money between all the companies. And then the £60 which is left, we will sort of chuck into FedEx, which has done really well. I did really well with FedEx, and FedEx is a company which really prospered during the coronavirus. And because everyone was sort of moving to the online shopping and buying stuff from home, the form of e-commerce and delivery really sort of picked up due to that. Johnson & Johnson, which is one of the best dividend companies going, we are going to put an increase into that by 0.8 shares, which is another £100. And the other company will be the National Grid. Now, National Grid is a bit of a weird one. It's one of the big players in terms of electric and power in the UK. Pays a very good dividend at 5%, and it's very worthwhile. So we'll just go with that. Or I would say that the grid does sort of, it's very temperamental in its prices, so it's one which I think will be good in the long term, because you always need power and you always need energy. And the final company which we'll be purchasing today is Nike, and that's it for this week. Now, Nike is just one of those companies which is it's a consumer company. It works very well, and it just seems to just keep progressing and just keep selling, and it's a very decent price at the minute. And it's just one of those blue chip companies which just consistently produces income. All these companies which are purchased today are dividend income and considerable dividends as well, in terms of Aviva and the grid as well. So hopefully that will just increase our dividend income throughout the year. and it would just get better and we could just reinvest the dividends. And that was the whole sort of point of this portfolio, was to just have companies which are blue chip cash flow companies who provide a steady income of dividends which we can expand over the years and just make it to a form of passive income. So that's my portfolio for this week. Nothing really to report in terms of like anything major in terms of prices or issues or stuff like that. It's pretty much been quite consistent really the past sort of couple of weeks. I'm just sort of really waiting just for BlackBerry, hopefully by the end of the year, to pick up and we can pull the money out of that and put it into more reliable and stronger companies. And like I said in the previous episode, it is a lesson which I've learned this year, is to not buy into hype and just to keep buying the high-end blue chip companies which provide consistent dividend and always looking to grow that dividend as well. But that's it for the portfolio this week. We're going to go to my crypto account now and just talk through that, and that'll do it for the episode. So, after many weeks of me finally going on about it, this is my crypto portfolio. Now, I started this crypto portfolio in the sort of beginning of December, and I was only sort of originally putting £200 sort of a week or a month in, and we've pretty much grown it from there to just over £9,000. Now, I think all in on this portfolio, I've roughly put in just over 4,000. So in terms of profit, we are very up at the minute. Obviously, with crypto, that can all change in a heartbeat, but we're pretty well priced in. So what my portfolio mainly consists of is Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, I own 1.5 Ethereum tokens, which before the past couple of weeks was not the majority of my portfolio. The 0.098 of Bitcoin I had, although that's not a lot, was the majority of my portfolio. But this bull run which Ethereum's experiencing at the minute has just pushed my portfolio really high. And to be fair, out of the two coins, I still think Ethereum's got a lot more to travel up than Bitcoin. But every time people say that, Bitcoin just seems to just keep going up and up. So what I first did when I got into crypto, I thought it was best to sort of split up money between the three bigger cryptocurrencies in my mind, and that was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Now, Litecoin as well, similar to Ethereum and the other altcoins, has done really well lately and gone on a bit of a run. So I think all in with Litecoin, I was buying sort of roughly under £100 each, and it's pretty much 2.5 times that since I've bought. So that's my portfolio, and what I like about crypto is it's something different to stocks. It's another asset, and I do think it is something for the future. I seriously think that where crypto is going is how we were with sort of contactless payments, and with how sort of pushed towards that we've been during this pandemic, and how we've limited use of cash and moved to contactless payments. I think crypto's got every chance of becoming a success in the future. And I think at the minute, I don't want all my eggs in one bag with stocks. And I think crypto is just something different where I can put some money, and I've seen rapid growth. I know it will slow down at one point. I know it will crash, but I think it's still got more potential than what we've already done. One thing I would say as well is I use Coinbase for my cryptocurrencies, and what they do a lot is sort of offer rewards. Now, normally these are just for watching videos or just giving feedback. And as you can see here, Marker, Compound, CeeLo, and the Graft have all been rewards which I've received from Coinbase. And that was just before watching a couple of little videos. Wasn't a lot of time at all. And I did this in December. And I've not touched these cryptocurrencies since I was given them as a reward. And between the four of them, they are now worth £100. Now, I think to start with, it was only about £20 total I would have received. And it's just gone ballistic. So it's always worth doing it if you do use Coinbase, and I do recommend Coinbase. It's actually very good. During the mad hypes of the Bitcoin, you were still able to buy when it was just going up and down like crazy. It didn't really kick you out. It didn't really cause me any problems. And the only other crypto I've got is Stellar Lumens. I wanted something in the lower bracket, and to me that looked like the best out of the bunch. I don't quite believe yet in all the meme coins, Dogecoin and all the others. I just think they're just pump and dump sort of way. And I think as well, it's just a joke. I think they've got no aspect or use. Whereas at least with these three, there's going to be use for them in the future. And I do think that many companies in the future will start taking crypto as payment, because the issues with inflation and the fiat currencies, I believe, are just becoming worse and worse. And there will be an alternative one day. and I think this is going to be the alternative for the future. But as I say in every episode, I am not a financial expert. This is my opinion. I am a man on the internet who may be right or probably will be wrong. But I just want to split my money up in various aspects. I don't think the housing market is in a position at the minute to be worthwhile to invest into, especially in the UK. The UK housing market's a bit of a joke. And I think between crypto and stocks, I'm giving my money the best chance of growing. Here, just in my crypto portfolio this year, it's pretty much doubled from what we've invested. And with the way Ethereum's performing especially, I can only see that growing more. So crypto at the minute, I'm not going to be one who speculates and goes in all the trash coins. I have put a little bit in some smaller coins just in case. But that's my portfolio. In terms of what I'm going to do with more money, I'm probably going to grow Ethereum and Litecoin for the time being. And ideally for my portfolio in Bitcoin, I don't really want much more than 0.25. I think that's more than enough with the price it is at the minute to cover anything possible. I'd rather put more money fueling into the lower brackets of crypto, who I think have more potential to grow. Obviously, I could be wrong with that. Bitcoin could really go to the heights people are already predicting. But for me, I'm happy with where I am. I don't want everything in crypto. I just want a bit, just to offer me some form of coverage and a chance for my money to grow. So yeah, that's my portfolio. I'll keep us updated on how it's performing. Maybe not as much as my Trading 212 account, because crypto to me is just sort of a side thing. It's something we pick up on the side. It's something I can grow on the side. I only sort of put a bit of money in every time I see a bit of a dip or a bit of a crash. I always try and pick something up and then I can average out a lower price for my cryptocurrencies. But if you've got any questions or if you've got anything you'd like to point out to me or any sort of recommendations, please pop them in the comments. But yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this episode. Just wanted to show you everything. Anytime I do any buys on CryptoVote, I'll make sure I put it in my episode, just so you can see that and my Trading 212 accounts together. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have enjoyed the episode, please like, and if you want to join me on my journey, please subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.